Hey guys, welcome back into the channel. I'm out here at a new park. So I signed up for this event. It's called the Mammoth March. The one I've signed up for April 2nd. It's going to be in Memphis in Shelby Farms Park, but it's also going to use part of the surrounding trail system and greenways. It'd be a combination of paved trails like the one I'm on right now and unpaved trails, hiking 20 miles in 8 hours, or attempting to do it under 8 hours. So I signed up and I told my brother about it. He signed up. It's really cool that he's going to be doing it with me. That makes me really feel like I definitely can do it because he'll be with me. It's in like 30 days. And so I've got a lot to do to get ready. And I've been working on it. Had a couple of setbacks. So I'm recording this video the night before the Mammoth March. So I signed up for this a few months ago. One of the motivations for doing that is I thought that I would train for it. Which I actually started out training for it. I did train for it a little bit. I just wasn't consistent with my training. The longest walk I had during that time was an 8-mile walk one day. Well, I really started feeling it at the hour and about 10-minute mark today. Whew. But yeah, I've slowed down to like 2.2 miles an hour. And that went pretty well. I ran out of energy, and it wasn't so much cardiovascular or any kind of pain. It was just more just like I ran out of gas. So I've been walking for about 3.5 hours, and I've gone almost 6 miles. Like I feel good. I'm just kind of out of energy, so I don't know. I know I look like I need more snacks, but no, I really do wonder if I should have brought some trail mix back on this long stretch with me or something to kind of give me a little energy. Cardio wise, I'm doing pretty good. Like I'm staying in a pretty good zone. It's a little high right now. Like, I don't know, like my heart's having to work a little harder because I don't have as much energy or something. I don't know. My feet hurt a little bit. Of course, carrying around this much weight for 6 miles, I imagine would do it. Whew. Feeling it. But nonetheless, I didn't let myself back out of it. I'm here. It's happening in the morning. My brother is coming to walk it with me or hike it with me. So looking forward to it. But I'm also scared and a little anxious. And I want to just talk about why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's something hard. I mean, yes, I wanted to do it to try to make myself train, but also it's a challenge. It's a physical challenge. It's a mental challenge. I learned that even doing that 8-mile walk, it'll be a mental challenge. I just want to see how I fare on it. I mean, my first goal is to have fun. Another goal is to not get injured, not to have any serious, health issue arise during it. And my third goal is just to finish the 20 miles. Fourth goal would be to do it in the 8 hours. But a fifth goal would be to try to do it in 10 hours as opposed to 8 hours. But ultimately, I just want to finish. And if I don't finish, I'll come back next year and try to finish. And if I do finish and finish over 8 hours, I'll try to come back next year and finish within 8 hours. So it's just a way to sort of begin challenging myself a little more. I love to hike. I don't do it as often as I would like to. I'm going to take you along the journey, and we will see how it goes. So I'll see you on the trail. So the morning of the event, we arrived, and there were way more people than both of us thought there would be, which was a nice surprise. It was quite a big event. They had an MC, and we got to get off the start line at about 9 a.m. First mile of the route was pretty straightforward on paved roads in the park, and then at about the 1 mile mark, it dropped off on a hiking and mountain bike trail called the Tour de Wolf. And it was sort of up and down on hills that were sort of designed for mountain bikers and hikers. There were a few open areas, but for the most part, it was pretty wooded on the eastward, bound loop. And then back on the west part of it, it opened up quite a bit and was along a major road there in Memphis. I intended to get a lot of footage with my GoPro camera on the hike, but I started it at the early beginning, and honestly I was focusing so much on just breathing, keeping my heart rate where I wanted it to be, that I kind of forgot it was running. So I got a lot of footage on the front part of the course and basically ran out of space on my SD card in my GoPro. So I just didn't film any with the GoPro after that. I did some filming with my iPhone, so I'll show you some of that a little later when we get at the other sections of the trail. But on this first section, was pretty good. I would try to keep my heart rate below like 145. So if it got above 145 beats per minute, I would slow down. or take a brief stop and allow my heart to sort of get back down into that zone. I knew that would be key for longevity, for endurance on the course. And then about every 2 hours, if I got hungry, sometimes a little more frequent than that, I had some nut butter bars, Cliff nut butter bars I would eat, and then also I try to stay hydrated. I used this product by LMNT, their salty electrolyte powder mix that I'd pour into my water, and that kind of kept me going. And yeah, this front side, I really didn't feel any, dread or like, oh gosh, this is going to be tough or anything like that. When we got to about the 5 mile mark, which you will see us getting to right at about this point, I knew I had to run to the restroom, find a restroom, and so we detoured here about a half mile off and then a half mile back, so that added sort of an extra mile to our overall hike. But it was good weather that morning. It was a little bit of a sprinkle when the whole march began, or the hike began, and it then started to gradually, the clouds sort of cleared off and the sun started breaking through. And this part of the hike along the lake there in Shelby Farms Park was really nice to be next to the water. And so pretty much this stretch was pushing us on to get to the very first aid station, which was at about the 7 mile mark. The aid station they had set up was really nice. They had water and energy drinks and protein bars. They had some tables and chairs set up where you could take a rest, change your socks if you needed to, that kind of thing. The section of the course was much more wooded than the previous wooded section, and it was really beautiful going outward bound on the blue part of the Wolf River Trail. And here's where we filed a report to our families at about the 8.5 mile mark. So we just passed the 8.5 mile-ish mark. We're doing okay, right?
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, doing good so far. Feet are a little tired for me. You having any aches or pains or?
Not too bad. Probably go to the bathroom in like a few miles, but
Yeah.
aside from that, I'm good.
So that's an update. One thing I think we could have done better on this section of the trail was to have filled up with more water at the aid station, because when we got back here, we started running out of water pretty quickly. I did not want to overfill the pack when we were at the aid station. In fact, eventually here, my brother offers to take the pack for me because I was having a little shoulder pain, so that helped out a lot. You can see he's wearing it here in this next report we filed at the halfway point. All right, hey everybody, we're at the 10 mile mark. Still doing pretty good. Have a little foot pain. Adam took my pack for me because my shoulders were aching a little bit, but so far so good, right?
Oh, good, yeah.
Yeah.
Take a break every 2 or 3 miles and just chill and feel like basically new when you start back.
There we go. That sounds good. All right, let's keep on. The westward bound of this portion of the route was nice. It was along the Wolf River. It was not as flat as I thought it was going to be. It went up and down the slope down to the river, sort of. And so it was much more hilly than we thought. We were hoping we would make it to the aid station again before it closed because we were really in need of a water refill. All right, we stopped at the last aid station. Glad it was open. I got some major blisters on my feet, but I covered them up with some tape. We're about 13.5 or something like that.
6.5 to go.
We're going to press on. Update y'all soon. We then continued on from about the 13 mile mark and took another break at around the 15.5 mile mark. This was another wooded section of the trail. We did cross over a right of way, which was nice in the clearing. Saw a bunch of deer there, but we're able to stop a bit and take a break. It is getting a little the sun hasn't gone down below the horizon, but we don't know if the finish line will be there when we get there or not, but we're hoping my truck will still be there. Then we're going to get some food. Soon after this, it got dark. We walked the last mile of wooded trail in the dark, and then it got completely dark when we got up on the greenway. Now, part of what I had hoped is we'd get there before dark, which we didn't, to cross the finish line before dark and get our picture made and get our medal, and sort of that be a big thing. But we just pressed on in the dark. And as we got to about the 18 mile mark, we really were having to push ourselves. And then we hit the 19 mile mark. And shortly after that, off in the distance, we could see what we thought were flashlights near where the finish line would be and where hopefully my truck was still parked. And the closer we got, the more we were sure that those were some flashlights moving around at the finish line. as we pressed on the dark, the closer we got, we could see that it was definitely some of the race organizers still there. As we got close enough, we could see they were loading up the truck. But fortunately, we were able to get our finishing medals off of the truck, and they, celebrated us for continuing on in the dark. It was kind of a nice experience, and we were really proud of our accomplishment. Certainly was sore for the next few days, had some blisters on the feet to take care of, but I'm back to normal now, and I look forward to doing this again next year, improving my time. So just an encouragement to you to take care of yourself, get out there, do something challenging, and until next time, take care, man.